Saturday, August 26, 10:35 a.m. New York time. Do a review of the past week for the Dow Jones Industrial Average using the Thinkorswim desktop trading platform. They have two grids here. On the right, it's the Dow Jones Industrial Average Stock Index. Currently 30 companies, 30 stocks are listed in it. This is a 1-year chart on the right. Each candle represents a week. On the left, again, same 1-year chart. Each candle represents 1 week. That would be in alphabetical order, the single stocks. And we're going to see how the performance is year to date and the past week. So here's the low of the Dow Jones Industrial Average for the year. Here's the high for the year, much closer to the high of the year than the low of the year. Also, the past week, we closed with a lower high, lower low. Current trend is down. Tested midpoint of this big green candle and a wick formed on the bottom. Buyers were brave enough to step in there, same as last week. Looking here at Apple, here's the low of the year. Here's the high of the year, much closer to the high of the year. Apple was in a Fibonacci retracement and actually went past and closed the prior week below the 0.382. And it tested just shy of testing 50%. 50% is not a Fibonacci number. It's just letting me know 50% from the bottom to the top. So again, it didn't even test 50%. So that retracement was weak, meaning that's still bullish bias because the trend was up, it was doing a retracement, and it did not go all the way down to the 0.618. For the past week, we closed green, higher high, higher low. Buyers stepped in here. That's good. So again, it's outperforming the past week, the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Next, Alpha, Mike, Goff, November. Those are the stock symbols for the stock up here on the top left. And on your own, you can simply find out what that name of that company is. It's public information. Again, Alpha, Mike, Goff, November. Here's the high for the year. Here's the low for the year. Look at that. It's like a W pattern. For the week, close red, lower low, lower high. Buyers already stepping in there from where that big impulse candle was. That was a lot of volume pushing that up. Coming back down on retracement, that was weak. Yep. So, leaving bullish bias. Putting an arrow on that. Because I'm interested. This has a potential bullish trade. Alpha, X-Ray, Papa, the financials, American Express. Here's the high for the year. Here's the low for the year. Made a lower low, lower high. The trend is still down. Bravo, Alpha. High of the year, low of the year. Not a big trading range. Mostly consolidation here. Then you had that impulse move up, that big green candle with big volume pushing it, and a retracement. And this past week, lower high, lower low, huge wick, bullish pin bar. But you also had huge volume selling here too. And part of the public information that was released. But that low might define the low of the year. Apparently, a lot of buyers stepped here and bought it, thinking it's a good price. Until what? Well, every 3 months, the company does earnings release, things can change. Charlie Alpha Tango. Here's the low for the year. Here's the high for the year. Made a lower high, lower low. And look how small that trading range was. Very tiny. That's interesting. So that's not so bearish because you didn't have a huge smackdown like that big red candle. Interesting. And buyers have been stepping in twice the past weeks at the lows. See these little tiny wicks? Charlie Romeo Mike. Here's a low for the year. Here's a high for the year. Inside candle for the week. Indecision. Charlie Sierra. Charlie Oscar. Here's the low for the year. And it made a new high for the year. Outstanding. That is leadership. Cisco Systems. Technology. United States. It's outperforming better than the Dow Jones Industrial Average. That's a winner. Invest in winners. Charlie Victor X-Ray. Here's the high for the year. Here's the low for the year. It closed lower high, lower low. Still big consolidation here. Big consolidation. And look, consolidation, breakout. So it's doing like a staircase pattern, higher high. Disney, Delta, India, Sierra. Here's the high for the year. Here's the low for the year. New low of the year. Loser. Yep. Bottom of the year. Dollar cost averaging on a loser. Wrong. It could go lower. If you want to invest short-term, long-term, go with winners. I just showed you Cisco system. Look for a pullback on weakness and buy bullish in Cisco. Disney could still go lower. Same with Cisco. But again, Cisco has proven it's strong. Cisco, again, stock index here. For the stock for the week, the stock index closed red, made a lower low, lower high. Cisco system's contrarian. It's bullish. It's outperforming the stock index. So even when the stock index was panicking, selling off this week, Cisco system was not. Got it? Divergency. If the market's down and you have a stock up, look into that stock that's up. That's a potential winner. First loser down here. Again, not the company, the leadership. Delta Oscar Whiskey. Yeah. Red, lower, low, lower high. It's an acceleration. Also, I mentioned back here that green arrows, that big green candle broke out of acceleration on big volume. That was much buying strength. That was good. So again, breakout, look for that retracement. And this has been the buying opportunity here in that retracement. We also had here, again, this candle, huge volume, pushed out a breakout on the acceleration, bullish. The retracement on lower volume. So that retracement means sellers, there are less sellers, panic selling on the decline. They're willing to hold their positions, and new buyers stepped in here too. These big wicks. Let's see if we're going to get a breakout here. Again, opportunity. Bull put spreads. Goldman Sachs. Graph here. Red, lower, low, lower high. It's the high of the week. Here's the low of the week. HD Home Depot, high of the week. Sorry, high of the year, low of the year. Yeah, red, lower, low, lower high. Concerning. That was a bearish stop hunt that prior week. Broke above that consolidation and rejected a bearish stop hunt. Let's see if we break below here. Might be an opportunity to trade bearish. So here, that week, huge volume. There's bias. So opportunity to break below that could be the bear call spreads, or however else you want to trade bearish. H Hotel Oscar November, high of the year, low of the year. Look at that. Green. It closed green, but it made a lower, low, lower high. Let's zoom in. Just shy of retesting the low of the year. Yeah. So also that low of the year is a swing point, a swing low. One could be looking for a potential day trade there as well. And certainly for the swing trade short term, see how that plays out. Hotel Oscar November first a breakdown. Again, it has a little gap here that has not been filled yet. Nope. IBM, high of the year, low of the year. Big impulse move up there, big solid body, but not showing a huge volume. Interesting. Yep. So this is acceleration. Like to see a breakout of that high, really get confirmation. But again, it's doing better because it went green for the week. First, the Dow Jones Industrial Average went red. It's just that volume here, that big green candle, so much. India, November, Tango, Charlie, Intel made a lower, low, lower high. So all this consolidation. So we got Cisco system outperforming it. The positive thing is it did close back inside that prior red candle. That big green body closed back inside that. That's good. Buyers here. Again, I wonder if it still wants to test this swing point down here. Juliet, November, Juliet. Gap down. Oof, that's bad. Huge volume down there. That's concerning. That was an inside candle, and it broke below that. Labeling my gap information. Yeah. So interesting on this, that big green candle with the body. See how far it went in retracement. Wow. You see, I'm labeling that midpoint of that big, that big green candle. And I see just the body, not the wicks, just the body. This is a huge body candle above average range. We tested all that. Buyers all stepped in here. But again, we never closed. So we have a gap to fill. Very concerning. See what happens. Juliet, Papa, Mike, JP Morgan. So almost all the financials right now I'm showing you have been making lower lows, lower highs, off the highs. Yeah. Charlie, Oscar, red, lower low, lower high. So again, majority of these stocks we're going through have made new lows for the month. Mickey D's, McDonald's, Mike, Charlie, Delta, lower low, lower high, broke below that swing point. Mike, 3M, red, lower low, lower high, much closer to the low of the year. Mike, Romeo, Kilo, green, higher high, higher low. Nice, broke above that consolidation. And this leadership pushing out. Again, I drew this arrow, downward arrow, bearish bias. And look at that. Drew that, 7 weeks ago? And tested it this past week and rejected, closed below it still. Might be just doing midpoint retest there. Interesting. Be concerned that it may be actually weakness for another rollover to the downside. There we go. That's what it did. Rejected it. Really didn't close much. No, it didn't close above that consolidation either, too. So I'm not impressed with that. Like a fake out. Microsoft. Higher high, higher low, green, and then forming a bullish pin bar, a bearish pin bar here. Interesting. Potential fake out. It's rejection right up there. Natural retracement. Retail Nike, November Kilo Echo, bearish, huge sell-off. New low for the year, loser. Yep, broke below and closed below this consolidation. Remember, I've been sharing this for like the past 2 years of bearish trades on here. It's retail.